Introduction: Karim Lala and the Pathan Gang. Mumbai, once known as Bombay, is not only the financial capital of India, but also a city with a rich and complex underworld history. Between the 1940s and 1980s, one name stood out in the shadows: Karim Lala. He was the leader of the Pathan Gang, one of the earliest and most powerful criminal organizations that controlled large parts of Mumbai's underworld. This gang was instrumental in shaping the city's illegal economies and the crime landscape for decades. Today, we explore the rise, reign, and fall of Karim Lala and his notorious Pathan Gang. Early life of Karim Lala. Karim Lala was born as Abdul Karim Khan in the rugged terrains of Afghanistan, a land known for its warrior tribes and rich culture. Seeking better opportunities, like many of his countrymen, he migrated to India in the early 20th century. Arriving in Bombay, Karim Lala initially faced the hardships of a newcomer: poverty, alienation, and the challenge to establish a foothold in a bustling metropolis. However, he found strength in his community and the bonds of tribal loyalty. With a small group of fellow Pathans, Karim Lala started navigating the underbelly of the city. These were tough men from tribal backgrounds, disciplined and fiercely loyal. Together, they began to carve out their space, which would eventually evolve into the Pathan Gang. Rise of the Pathan Gang. The 1940s and 1950s were a time of great change and opportunity in Bombay. The city's port was one of the busiest in the region, bustling with trade and commerce. The post-independence period also brought economic upheaval, creating openings for smuggling and black market activities. Karim Lala and his Pathan Gang took advantage of these circumstances. Their initial ventures involved controlling small-time smuggling, primarily gold and precious goods that evaded customs. Soon, their influence expanded to narcotics, illegal liquor, and contraband electronics. The gang also established dominance in neighborhoods such as Dongri and Vikala. These areas became strongholds where the Pathan Gang exercised strict control, protecting their own and running their operations with a ruthless efficiency. Criminal activities and influence. The Pathan Gang's criminal portfolio was vast. Alongside smuggling, they ran illegal gambling dens, where money changed hands in secret, away from the prying eyes of law enforcement. Betting on horse races and card games was popular, bringing in significant revenue. Another major source of income was extortion. Local businesses, shops, and even street vendors were forced to pay protection money to avoid violence or disruption. This system ensured steady cash flow and also cemented the gang's hold on the city's economy. Karim Lala's network wasn't limited to muscle power alone. The gang had deep connections within local politics and the police force. Corruption was widespread, allowing the Pathan Gang to operate with impunity and evade serious crackdowns. Community protection and order. Interestingly, Karim Lala and his gang were sometimes seen as protectors by the local communities. In the absence of efficient law enforcement, the gang often maintained order within their territories. They settled disputes, prevented petty crimes, and provided a sense of security to residents, especially those from their own Pathan community. This complex relationship blurred the lines between villain and vigilante. For many locals, the gang was a necessary evil, a force that kept more chaotic elements at bay and ensured a form of rough justice in a city growing too fast for the police to manage. Violence and corruption. Despite some positive aspects, the Pathan Gang's reign was marred by violence and fear. Clashes with rival gangs were frequent and brutal. Shootouts and street fights terrorized neighborhoods, putting innocent civilians at risk. Extortion drained many small businesses, creating an atmosphere of dread. The gang's ties with corrupt politicians and police officers undermined public trust in law enforcement, fostering a culture of impunity. The economic damage was also significant. Smuggling reduced government revenue and distorted legitimate trade. The pervasive fear and uncertainty hindered social and economic development in many parts of Mumbai. Rivalries and challenges. As Mumbai's underworld evolved, new players emerged on the scene. Haji Mastan, another legendary don, began to dominate smuggling and Bollywood financing. Varadarajan Mudaliar controlled large parts of South Mumbai and was known for his own criminal empire. However, the biggest challenge came from Dawood Ibrahim, who founded the D Company. Dawood's rise in the 1970s and 1980s marked a new era. With sophisticated networks and international connections, he expanded beyond Mumbai, engaging in drug trafficking, arms dealing, and even terrorism. The Pathan Gang, rooted in traditional structures and local power, struggled to keep pace with these newer, more ruthless gangs. Turf wars and violent confrontations intensified, reshaping the balance of power. Decline of the Pathan Gang. By the 1980s, the influence of Karim Lala and his Pathan Gang had begun to wane. Dawood Ibrahim's D Company overshadowed them with superior organization, money, and international reach. Increased police crackdowns, often backed by political will, chipped away at their operations. Internal conflicts and defections further weakened the gang's unity. Gradually, the Pathan Gang fragmented, with many members absorbed by rival factions or fading into obscurity. Karim Lala himself withdrew from active control, marking the end of an era in Mumbai's criminal history. Legacy of Karim Lala. Karim Lala remains a legendary figure, a symbol of Mumbai's early underworld. His life and the story of the Pathan Gang continue to inspire books, movies, and folklore. Though his actions caused harm, his story reflects the complex realities of survival, power, and loyalty in a rapidly changing city. Mumbai's underworld would never be the same without the Pathan Gang's indelible mark. Closing. The story of Karim Lala and the Pathan Gang is a window into a turbulent time when the lines between law, crime, and community blurred. Understanding this history helps us see the layers beneath the city's glimmering surface, where power was forged in the shadows and survival was the ultimate game. If you enjoyed this detailed journey into Mumbai's underworld, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories about history's most fascinating figures.